Hi everyone, and welcome back. Today we're going on a journey through a typical day, and along the way we'll uncover a wealth of essential English grammar points, useful phrasal verbs, natural-sounding collocations, and new vocabulary. This isn't just about listening, it's about actively learning. Throughout this episode, I'll be asking you questions to help you practice what you've learned and build your confidence. Get ready to engage your mind and your voice. Are you ready? Let's begin. My day always begins early. The first sound I hear is my alarm clock, usually around 6:30 a.m., which tells me it's time to wake up. This is a common and important phrasal verb that means to stop sleeping. It's different from get up, which means to physically leave the bed. I try to get out of bed quickly, which means to stand up and leave the bed so I can start my day with energy. Next, I head to the bathroom to brush my teeth and wash my face. These are simple but crucial daily habits that help me feel refreshed and ready. Then, it's time for my morning coffee. I make myself a cup of coffee. The verb make is essential for creating many natural-sounding collocations. You make coffee, make tea, or make breakfast. You never do coffee or do breakfast. Using these correct combinations makes your English sound much more fluent and authentic. While I drink my coffee, I check my phone for messages or notifications. This is another excellent collocation. Check your phone, check your email, or check the news. My morning routine is a perfect illustration of the present simple tense. We use the present simple to describe things we do regularly, habits, or facts. For example, I wake up at 6:30 every day, and she makes coffee every morning. In contrast, the present continuous tense is used for actions happening right now, at this exact moment. For example, I am drinking coffee while I'm talking to you, or the sun is shining outside. The structure is am, is, are, plus verb ing. Your turn. Advisor question 1. Think about your own life. When do you usually wake up on weekdays? Tell me using the present simple. For example, you could say, I usually wake up at 7 a.m. After breakfast, I get ready for my English class. First, I get dressed, which simply means to put on clothes, and then I head out, a phrasal verb for to leave the house or a specific place. Today, I'm wearing a blue jacket because it's a bit cold. Wear is an irregular verb, so its past tense forms are wear, wore, worn. So, yesterday, I wore a red sweater. On my way to class, I sometimes run into friends. This phrasal verb means to meet someone by chance, without planning it. When we see each other, we usually stop to catch up. Catch up means to exchange news and updates about what we have been doing. The phrase, what we have been doing, is an excellent example of the present perfect tense. We use this tense to talk about an action or experience that happened at an unspecified time in the past, or an action that started in the past and continues to the present. The focus is on the result or the experience itself. For example, I have studied English for 2 years. The action of studying started in the past and is still relevant now. Another example, have you ever run into someone famous? This asks about an experience you've had at any point in your life. The structure is have, has plus past participle. Your turn. Advisor question 2. Let's practice the phrasal verb catch up. Can you make a sentence using it? For example, you could say, I need to catch up with my friend John later this week. In my English class, our teacher often asks us to work in pairs to practice speaking. I sometimes get nervous, but I always try to push myself to speak confidently. Push oneself means to make a strong effort to do something difficult, like speaking in a new language. It's a great way to grow. One thing we learned today was how to use collocations with the verb make. Using these phrases makes your English sound much more natural and fluent. Here are some of the most common ones. Make a decision. To decide something. I need to make a decision about which book to read next. Make progress. To improve or move forward. I'm happy with the progress I'm making in my English studies. Make an effort. To try hard. You have to make an effort if you want to succeed. We also reviewed some essential modal verbs. These are verbs like should, must, and can that express different meanings like possibility, advice, or necessity. Should is used for giving advice or making a suggestion. It's not a strong command. You should practice your pronunciation every day. Must is for strong obligation or necessity. It's much stronger than should. I must improve my vocabulary to pass the exam. Don't have to means there is no necessity. You can do it, but you're not required to. You don't have to be perfect to speak English. You just have to try. Your turn. Advisor question 3. Let's practice a collocation. What is one decision you've made recently? Use the phrase, make a decision, in your sentence. For example, I made a decision to start learning a new language. After class, my learning journey continues. I usually review my notes, which means to study them again to remember the information better. I also look up any new words I don't know in the dictionary. Look up is a phrasal verb that means to search for information, especially in a book or online. Sometimes I feel tired and want to put off studying. Put off means to delay or postpone something. But I remind myself that learning every day is important, so I sit down and get to work, which means to start working seriously and with focus. I also love to watch English movies and try to pick up new expressions. Pick up is a great phrasal verb that means to learn something naturally or informally, without formal study. My self-study habits are a great way to show you how the first conditional works. We use the first conditional to talk about a real possibility in the future. We connect a condition, the if part, with a result, the will part. The structure is simple. If plus present simple, then will plus base verb. For example, if I study every day, I will improve my English. The condition is studying, the result is improvement. Another example, if you watch movies in English, you can learn new words. You can also use other modal verbs like can or may in the result clause. Your turn. Advisor question 4. Think about your own English learning goals. Can you make a conditional sentence about what you will do? For example, if I practice speaking, I will become more confident. In the evening, after a long day of learning, I like to wind down. This phrasal verb means to relax after a period of activity or stress. I usually read a book or listen to some calming music. I try not to stay up too late. Stay up is a phrasal verb that means to stay awake longer than usual, past your normal bedtime. Getting enough sleep is crucial for my energy tomorrow. Before bed, I take a few minutes to reflect. To reflect means to think carefully and deeply about something. I reflect on my progress from the day and make a plan for my next study session. Let's look at two important past tenses. The past simple. Use this for a completed action that happened at a specific time in the past. Yesterday, I studied for 2 hours. The action of studying is finished. And the past continuous. Use this for an action that was in progress at a particular time in the past. It often sets the background for a shorter action. While I was studying, my friend called me. The studying was happening when the call interrupted it. Remember, make versus do. Always remember the correct collocations. We make a decision, we don't do a decision. We do homework, we don't make homework. Phrasal verb prepositions. The little words after a verb are important. We put off studying, not put on studying. The preposition changes the entire meaning. Present perfect versus past simple. Remember that present perfect is for an experience at an unspecified time. I have been to Paris, while past simple is for a finished action at a specific time. I went to Paris last year. Now, let's put it all together. Take a moment to think about the following questions and try to answer them out loud or by writing them down. 1. Phrasal verb challenge. Describe your morning routine using at least 2 of the phrasal verbs we learned today, e.g., wake up, get out of bed, get dressed. 2. Modal verb challenge. Give advice to a friend who wants to improve their English. Use either should or must. 3. Collocation challenge. Talk about a recent decision you've made in your life. Use the phrase, make a decision. 4. Conditional sentence challenge. Create a conditional sentence about what will happen if you continue to learn English. Thank you so much for joining me today. Remember, consistency is key. The more you practice, the more progress you will make. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. They are a natural and important part of the learning process. I hope to see you in the next episode. Goodbye for now.